Good afternoon. This is Jim Whitehead of All Power Group and Phoenix Animal. And today, we always talk about animals, but I want to welcome you here. And today, we're going to talk about, a lot of these topics are, how would you say, where I would say, this is how I feel. I don't say anything to you that isn't what I feel in my heart, and that's the truth. So today we're going to talk about adopting an older cat. Now, this could be the same as adopting a older dog. Now, they unfortunately older animals, and this is not, I'm not reading this just from how I feel. Older animals, a lot of times, are either abandoned, turned in, or I can't even say the other things that could happen. But yeah, so we have Jamie. Jamie is a 10-year-old Shih Tzu. Yes, we did adopt her adopt her as a puppy. Now, that was 10 years ago. So I was 10 years younger. I know you're saying, gee, Jim, you're good at math. But the point today, I'm 75, and I bring that up so people know I'm 75 and I'm not hiding anything. And I hate to say, because I love every animal I've ever had in my life. And I love every animal I see. Bottom line, if and when something happens to Jamie, because of my age, I will not say I'm too old to have an animal. Absolutely, that is not true. But, adopt an older animal that still has some time with you having time. So it kind of works together, hopefully, if we can say that. Anyway, adopting older cats is a compassionate choice that addresses an often overlooked need in animal shelters and rescue organizations. The first one is overlooked in shelters. Older cats are frequently passed over in favor of kittens. This leaves them at a higher risk of spending extended periods in shelters or even being euthanized in high intake facilities. I don't want to even talk about euthanasia, but I get it. There's only so much room. And a lot of times, unfortunately, people have animals that they shouldn't have had, or they're not as much of a lover of animals for a variety of different reasons. They have to, either turn them in, set them loose, as I said. Now, particular as sometimes I bring in my own practical examples. I'm going to say in 1990, my father died not too long before that, but bottom line, she loves animals, and that's probably genetically why I love animals. And she had one that she was not able to take care of because of her age and being, unfortunately, dementia oriented. So we had to figure out what to do because, she really couldn't take care of this cat. And euthanasia is just not fair. So, it just gets into that. As you see the little picture, it's just kind of and I don't want to make it funny, but sometimes animals are given their packing orders but hopefully they find a wonderful place, a wonderful person or persons that will love them and love them and love them. So, adopting an older cat can save a life and free up resources for shelters to help other animals. You know, myself personally, I could never go to a pet store, and I could have even more so not go to a shelter unless I was there to either buy an animal in the pet store, which I don't necessarily agree they should be sold there. But if I went into, as I said, the pet store or into a shelter, I'd want to take them all home, every one of them. So, that wouldn't make sense. But, the point being, we just love these animals and they've done nothing wrong and they're wonderful. So, anyway, what you find with the older animal is predictable behavior and personality. I know sometimes people bring home puppies, let's say, for example, or baby cats, kittens, I should say, and they don't know what to expect. They've never had an animal before. And, it's one of those things. You got to have a license to drive and learn how to drive. Well, to have an animal, you should have where you basically have recognized and you have the skills and the love that is going to make it a good choice. Now, with, I mentioned that adult cats have established personalities, making it easy to find a good match for your lifestyle. Picture of all the cats that are just waiting in line to go home with someone. And it's just, they're wonderful. Their habits and energy levels and preferences are already apparent, reducing surprises after adoption. Now, if you go to a shelter, and let's say they've got 35 cats, I'm just using a number, and it could be a dog, so it's not where I'm giving preference to one or the other. But if you say to the wonderful people that work at the facility, I'm such and such age, and my wife is such and such age, and we're looking for an animal that, and you might tell them that you the size of your home, or do you have a backyard? I mean, there's just things that they will, since they love the animals, most of them, of course, they will be saying, okay, I know Susie and Johnny, they would be wonderful for you. So you can get very good recommendations. And it isn't a recommendation where you're saying, well, they're just saying it because they want to make sure they have one of their residents leave with someone. They don't want you to take it if you're going to go, oh, no, I made a mistake and I've got to take it back. I mean, that is so sad for everybody concerned. The older cat is what I would say lower maintenance. Older cats are often less demanding than kittens. They're typically litter box trained, calmer, and requires less constant supervision, making them ideal for busy households or first-time pet owners. So, I mean, it's really, you have the opportunity of, hopefully, if you're older, you'd say, if you went into the shelter and you said, I've never had an animal before, that's one level of somebody in the facility going, well, let me explain a little bit about what you need to do to take care of an animal. Or you've got a veteran like somebody like me that have had many, many animals through your life, even growing up as a kid. I do admit they were dogs, but I don't want to have it where I'd say I won't bring a cat home. In fact, we're in Naples, Florida now. We moved here a year and a half. Where I lived for very long time over in the Davie, Florida. That's on the east side of Florida. We're on the west side. We had in our neighborhood quite a few feral cats. And, people would say, don't feed them. Well, the lady that brought them into the neighborhood, she minimally took care of them, tried to have some of them spaded, but they moved, and they left all the cats here or there in the neighborhood. And, nobody, a lot of people say, no, don't feed them. Then they'll hang around. Well, I'm sorry, but I fed these cats for 3 years. And my wife, she loves animals, she loves Jamie, but not what I have inherited in the sense of my traits. So it wasn't cheap. I was feeding them twice a day, and it was good food. It wasn't where, well, I'm just going to buy the cheapest I can buy. No. And I would feed them twice a day, morning and night, without any exception. And I love them as much as I would love the animals that were, in my home. Now, they were kind of skittish. I don't know if you have heard that word, but they wouldn't necessarily let me pat them. But I knew they loved me, and of course, I loved them. And I, would take pictures of them. I did everything that I could. Now, it wouldn't have made sense because I had up to 5 cats. It wouldn't have made sense. And I tried this one other time when we moved from one location over there to, home we bought. And I had some cats I was taking care of there. And I literally tried to catch them to bring them home. But that didn't work. And one in particular that I called George, when I was about ready to try to get George, I went around the back of the house, looked over a fence, and there was now, instead of George, Georgette with a bunch of babies. So I was like, oh, whoa, this is definitely going to change my plans. And anyway, I put some food down, and I hope you don't mind these side stories, but this kind of helps me happily remember some of the things that were near and dear to me as I was growing up. I went back maybe the next morning, and they were all gone. So Georgette now had said, well, I'm not going to let anybody take my babies. So that was how that ended. But I'll tell you, I really, really wanted to bring them to me. And then, of course, when I moved there and I said that, we have the feral cats, I took care of them. And I pray for them every night. And I never tell you something to make it sound better than, or me better than I am. I pray for Ranger, because I gave them all names, of course. Ranger, Happy, Needy, Big Black, and I pray for him every night. And I haven't been back to the neighborhood, and 9 out of 10, either A, they left to go somewhere else, or they passed away, and I hope not. But moving on, health and medical care. While some people worry about potential health issues in older cats, many are perfectly healthy and have years of love to give. And that is absolutely true. Even if they're a little cranky, cats are a little bit different than dogs. And I joke about it where when you go home and you have a dog, dogs, oh, I'm so glad to see you. Oh, you're wonderful, you're wonderful, you're wonderful. And cats look at you and go, you're late. So, the good news is they are different. But that doesn't make either a cat or a dog where you'd go, oh, no, I don't like cat. No, I don't like dogs. I love them all. And if you're taking care of them, they know it, and they're gonna be good to you over time. They're gonna get used to things. But anyway, shelters often conduct thorough health assessments and provide medical history, so adopters know what to expect. And in today's world, they have animal insurance that you can get. So I mean, there's a lot of good issues that would have it where you shouldn't worry too much about getting an older animal. And I'll be honest with you. I grew up with, we got puppies and all that stuff. But being older, as I said earlier, I would rather have an older animal because I'm older. And they could have had a good life and they lost that good life, or they didn't have a good life. And you're going to give them a good life. And if you don't feel you can give them a good life, please don't go and adopt any animals. Okay, they are so willing to give unconditional love. Older cats often show deep gratitude and affection when they find a forever home. Many adjust quickly and form strong bonds with their adopters, appreciating the second chance they've been given. Now, I do, a lot of daily and what have you. Some are okay, some are better than others, but when you're able to demonstrate to someone some of the better ideas of what might be a good idea to think of when you're by yourself and, you don't have somebody to love you. My next door neighbor, God bless her, I'm not sure exactly what the issue is. This neighborhood, we don't have a lot of neighbors, but this person is all by herself. She's not really elderly. She might be in her 50s. And when I'm 75, that's young. And boy, would I like to be back at that age. Anyway, I've said many times she should have an animal because it's got to be lonely. We asked her to go, if she wanted to go with us to Thanksgiving, outing. And she said, oh, no, I've got some friends. They invited me. So we're like, okay, that's great. That's good. This is extremely coincidental. And when I see things or hear things like this, I go, I should go out and play the lottery because might be my lucky day. We went to this restaurant, and there's a lot of restaurants in Naples. And we're sitting there, we're there and we're ready to eat. Who walks in but her? We didn't tell her where we were going. She didn't follow us or anything like that. But the sad point, and why I'm bringing this up, other than it being phenomenally coincidental, she was by herself. So, and I don't think, everybody wants to be by themselves. And having an animal really gives you a purpose. And, as much as with the YouTube channel, I'm sorry, I've already spoken 20 minutes. I talk too much. But bottom line, you have to have a purpose. And because of my age and because of the heat in Florida, and it's gotten hotter since 2014 every summer, I worked on generators. I have generator companies. I still have one. And bottom line, I get to a point when I started getting close to 70 that I was really having trouble dealing with the 100-degree temperatures. So, and if we were in a cooler environment, I wouldn't probably be sitting here doing this. Although this is what I've always said I would do. When I started my channel in 2007, it just, I did a little here and there. But I always knew that it would be something I'd come back to when I grew up, and that it would be something I would love to do. And that's exactly what this is. Yeah, I'm doing other things online and so on and so forth. But bottom line, this gives me a very good purpose. Every day trying to come up with good ideas that hopefully you will enjoy. And I enjoy doing it. So it's kind of one of those win-win situations. By the way, I changed my format, as you can see, because I occasionally, if somebody wants to leave a comment or comment why I'm doing it, that's great. Anyway, the animals don't need to learn the basics like using a litter box or appropriate scratching behavior. Their calmer demeanor also makes integrating them into a household smoother. The other good point is helping seniors. Now, I'm a senior. I hate to admit it, but I'm a senior. But this helps them find companionship. Older cats can be an excellent match for senior citizens who may prefer a pet with a similar energy level, can't go out in the heat, and more relaxed lifestyle. By adopting an older cat, you not only gain a loyal companion, but also make a significant difference in their life, giving them comfort and love that they deserve in their later years. So, I don't know if this helped you, get anything out of this and maybe make a decision to go and adopt an animal, but please do. Don't do it for me. Do it for the cats and your family. Even grown kids would say, hey, that's great. I won't take care of the cat, but I'd love to have it around. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing all right. And, I know we get through Thanksgiving and now we're looking for the big Christmas and Jewish holidays. And life is good. I don't think life is bad. And thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And if you do follow up on this, please send a comment to me. Or if you feel that Well, I mean, just send me a comment. You know, I can't adopt an animal because, or I adopted an animal because of, and boy, I'll tell you, if you say, I watched your YouTube presentation on adopting and I did it. And by the way, if you do that and you send me a comment, send me a picture. And that will be included in a future update where I can say, and you know, the truth of YouTube, we're always looking for the next best thing to put online. I mean, I have the equipment. I'm comfortable. I admit when I first started live like this, I was like, what if it gets messed up? Well, it has. Here and there, I mess up. I sometimes, you know, have to do it again, but that's okay. That's okay. But anyway, thank you again, and please take care and please adopt an animal if you can, and send me a comment. Thank you.